Hey guys, it's been a while since I made one of these. This is the Mundane Trickster. So the goal of this build was to kind of make like a character that was endgame viable. You know, nothing that was too overpowered. Something that was strong in a lot of areas, that he could do all the endgame content. You know, there's nothing that he just lacked. And he's been pretty good at everything so far. Also having some stealth, you know, a cool pet, and being able to cast masters without any commitment besides lots of money and the stuff that you find. Some warnings with this though. I did originally plan on hot wiring the Forge Master. That literally breaks your saves, so I've just kept the enchanted spear. They're not too hard to get. You gotta hotwire them twice. Like, you gotta basically pass a master and then another master, one after the other, and you have less than 15 seconds to get both of them, and then you can get one of these. So it's not easy, but it's not the hardest thing. The other thing is you are very dependent on Enthir to get your master spells, because you do not have any skills in your spellcasting ability. You are just casting from wands only. So Enthir you can't have turn into a fence. If you're doing Thieves Guild, you have to stop at some point, and you got to start farming him early. You check him for his 1 or 2 mastered spells, and it's kind of a slow bleed, but you'll eventually get quite a few. I've found some and I stick to them. They're really good. So the other thing is you'll want to turn something off in the MCM here. The immersive spell learning. You want to set this to 0. Otherwise you'll be spending hours, days, whatever, learning books. To me, it's not a big deal. It's just time spent. If there's a legitimate way, I don't know if there is anymore. There was a way. I did it with my last Trickster, I think my Seeker build, but those potions I think don't exist in the game anymore. So do that. Alright, so what else? Yeah, we picked Khajiit. Khajiit just kind of works in synergy with everything else. I've been able to upload Master Locks super early. I can jump off things. You know, he has a lot of perks that you can, not perks, but a lot of benefits that are really nice. Eat raw meat, night vision. You know, I'm using Silent Horizon 2. Night vision actually works pretty good with it. For the traits, I chose Addict. It works good for a Khajiit. You can drink skooma and make skooma. Doesn't kill me. And for the other one, obviously the Wizarding Wardrobe, just for the spell power, get an extra 30%. For the birth sign, I chose Thief, because with Thief, Cat, and 2 perks in the Wayfarer, I could actually open Masters super early. I think I was like 11 or 12, I was opening Masters just with these 2. And with Thief and being Cat, but you're 1 point short. You can do it. It's still difficult. You'll break lots of lockpicks. So I've kept the Thieves Guild key. I made the mistake of pursuing the Thieves Guild and lost out on my master spells from Enthir, so don't do that. For the religion, when you start out, you can be whatever you want until you get some good wands going. But you want to get Magna Gi eventually, and that's up in the mountain here beside Bleakfall Barrows. We'll just go there. Did I say barrels? Barrows.
Sorry.
Super low key. The Bleak Falls is just up here, and you can use the climbing mechanic to kind of cheat your way up here. You can go any which way you want and you'll get up there. See, there's the tower, Bleak Falls. Yeah, and for your destiny, you can kind of choose whatever you really want to start off with. You know, choose whatever is most useful to you. I took Stalker. Like early game, if you want to spend some money later, reset them, but I'll usually take up to like Magic Shell and then Endurance. You know, the last two I won't have enough points for them, but I'll take all those so I get, you know, all the regen and stuff. But I went with Stalker, you know, for all the magic. I felt kind of bad because of the magic resistance out of the alteration tree was gone, couldn't use that. But the big thing is this, enemies slow down. It's sometimes really hard to hit and get a beat down on people. But with this, they're just a sitting duck and you just hit them over and over again. But you could also take Saboteur. Saboteur is actually not that bad. Trickster, Saboteur, more stun, damage when stunned. He'll be stunning and staggering a lot. So we're just back in Riverwood. I like to put a camp down here. And as for the start, I like to start in Raven Rock. And there's lots of good things to steal there. You can trade in and sell a lot of stuff. If you can survive long enough, there's a pair of gloves you can buy there called the Horny Fist gloves. And they're probably the best gloves you're going to get for a long time. Try to get them early game. They start enemies on fire. They stop regen. I think they're expensive. They're either like 1,700 gold or they're like over 4 grand. So if you can't get enough, you know, there's another way. If you don't want to start in Raven Rock, start in the Mages College because you can learn a lot of early game spells quick. You get them for free. You can put them on wands. You have the supplies to make wands. They sell... You don't want staffs, you want wands because they're light and you can have a whole bunch of them like I have, just a ton. They sell them in packs of 3s like this, and then you can enchant them yourself. You take them not to the enchanting table, you use soul gems instead, and you take them to the smithing forge. I think you might need craftsman perks, but you'll probably find the book somewhere in the Mages College if you look around. There's so many books there. I found like Malachite and stuff there, so you can do that.
Clouds look so fluffy. I really want to touch one.
Yeah, but if you're having trouble getting money, what I was saying was you can go behind Riften, or not Riften, Whiterun, and there's like some bandits back here. They also have a caravan note. You get that. I think it's 2 grand. You know, either go and buy the gloves or go on, this is like for your early game progression, go on a tour to Skyrim. Go and check the missives board. Get any kind of delivery missive to any major hold. Pick up all of the ones that you can see, and then just go to the next major hold when you're at, say, Fell Creek. Go in there, and you should be getting up to being able to open masters or pretty close to it, depending on your level. But steal from like the Jarl's chambers and stuff. You'll get lots of stuff. I know in Marthal or Dawnstar, one of them, they have a summon staff that would carry you and tank for you and everything else. You know, stop by the missive board, pick up everything there. You know, if you want to, do the Thieves Guild along with that and stop at the holds and steal and do them as well. But just don't progress it too far because you don't want to lose Enthyr. Do that early game, like that'll get you like through 15 levels. If you start feeling brave, start picking other things up. You know, if you have a summon staff, you'll be doing okay. If you get those gloves, you can pick up Uthgard as a follower. If you can beat her up with those gloves, you'll be being able to get her pretty early level. Like I think I got her like level 13 or 14. She downed me twice, but I got her, and she's strong as hell at that level. So what else we got here? The gear, I guess. I only can really show you the end game. You know, early game, just pick up the best things that you can find. You're going to be stealing stuff. You're going to be looting things. You're going to be finding lots of good things. The best thing you could probably find is just whatever the best light armor chest piece and whatever else you can find with the best enchant on it. Where to find them, I don't know. You'll find it though. But as for aiming for things, you can get the Savior's Hide pretty early now. Biggie will fix this later. I'd say probably level like 15, 20, you can probably get it. Depending on the difficulty you play on, like this build I've been playing on Master. I play on Controller, otherwise I'd maybe play on Legendary. It's been interesting through and through. I'm close to 50 and it still, you know, gives me a challenge. I risk dying. I've been one shot by a giant not long ago, so... What else? The Ring of the Tree. This one's not that hard. This is from Heart of the Reach. You fight a bunch of Forsworn again and again and again. So whatever level you think you're ready for that, you can get this. And that's... Well, you'll see that. You go to Markarth to get the quest. And they'll show you where they need to go. The Moonstone, I just enchanted these myself. They're doubles. As a hit level 46. And at level 46 you can use the Ogma to unlock Masters, so I was able to get that top perk in Enchanting. I'll show that to you later. See, these are double enchanted. I've already been to the Forge. That's one of the rewards you can get. Another thing you want to get is the Skull of Corruption. This is hard to get. I'd say wait till you got Uthgard and a follower. And you want to go to Dawnstar. The quest starts there in the inn. And then you get it from Nightcaller Temple. There's a quest, and you get a bunch of good gear in there too. Besides that, you also want to be doing some of the quests in Riften. There's the Agent of Mara. You can do that pretty early game. You got to travel around and talk to a bunch of people in different towns, so you could do that in your early game when you go to Riften doing the missives and everything else. Stop in there and do that quest. Gives you 5% permanent magic resistance, but you can also pick up Siren Root. I wouldn't do it till you're like level 25. Some of the boss fights are really hard, everything else is really easy. It's one of the better DLCs in this whole list. It's actually really good, kind of reminiscent of old Zelda games with the water levels. Gives you a 10% permanent magic resistance. And that's about all I can think of. The sphere, you can grab one of these. Easiest place is Deep Fork Crossing here. There's like a bridge. It's in the video in the beginning of this. If you can run up and hotwire it and survive that, then you can get yourself a sphere. I don't know what level you can do that. I got mine from Blackreach. I didn't even think to get that one up there. In Blackreach I was already like level 27 I think, so I didn't get mine till late game. And don't get the Forge Master, he'll break all your saves. Don't want to do that. You could also polymorph. Say you fail. Wait, don't I have it? Yeah, polymorph. Say you fail, makes it hostile, you gotta wait it out 30 seconds. You can just hit it with polymorph, then hit it, literally hit it again, and it'll reset the timer. You can try again to try to hotwire it again. Saves you a lot of time. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of this. Scrolls. You can scroll craft. You can get things on scrolls that you can't get on wands. Absorbing Cloak I think is one of them. Same with like jump mountains. You can't put that on anything else, on one-handed things. Show you my skills real quick. So these solo perks, they work with the pet. I didn't take these, but I did test them out, but they will work with your hotwired pet. So you can take them if you want. When you start unlocking the Forge Master and taking in the artifacts, you can do that. Sneak, you could move all those far perks on the left side. You can move them here for more damage for your sneak attacks. My sneak was broken for a bit, so I didn't use sneak for a while. Evasion straightforward. You can get rid of dodge if you want. Unarmed, you want all that for the damage and everything. You could take some points in block if you use dual block a lot and not use ward. The ward is pretty nice, but if you're fast and good with timing, this might be better for you. It's not for me. uncontrollably my animations kept getting locked and I get stuck like slow moving in this weird stuck way. I can't even explain it. It's really annoying. Pretty straightforward. My shame I couldn't unlock. I hit level 46 to use the Ogma and I couldn't I didn't have enough points to get smithing to 100, so I'd otherwise be wearing like full set of saviors with Daedric unlocked if I got the book. Enchanting straightforward, more power. All the magic, just nothing. Speech, we got this, the most important one. The rest of them, if you want to unlock them, sure. Finesse, I slept on these. You can get these with our armor now. So I'm going to trade in artifacts to max out these two lines, and this is where we're going to get most of our resistances from. So we get 10 and 10 here, magic and all elemental, and then 21 here for, 31% more armor, more carry weight we need, all that. Health, that one's not so big, but still worthwhile getting. Be able to pickpocket better. I did originally have traps, but I just was not using them. They are strong. If you think you're going to want to use them, you can do that. You can drop the pet and do traps instead. And I think that's about it. If you're looking to make money, you're going to be jewel crafting and also making wands and selling those, and you'll be making big boy bucks. That's how you're going to make your bread and butter. Show you my stats here. You see, not bad, but not great. Think I'm probably warm, maybe well fed. See the resistances, I'll get another 30% on all those, plus a 10% on magic resistance. I think I'm running our Akatosh, so I got already a 15% on there. But yeah, not great, but not bad. Like a giant can still one-shot me with a power attack. I've been one-shot. I just got one-shot not long ago. But keeps things interesting. You got to stay on your toes. And a lot of my gameplay, I'm using one hand. This doesn't really do that much. You do even less when you're putting a ward up. But like once this is up, you're so tanky. But this attack here does insane damage. You're almost better off just going in kamikaze, just trying to one-shot everything. Trying to 4 or 5 shot dragons. Guess that's the only other tip I can give you guys. I'd like to put a tent down here. I think it's kind of cool for my roleplay starting out. Feels a bit low-key. Alright, I didn't want this to be too long, so cheers guys. Show you these.